Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Dear ones, I am Archangel Michael. Today we will continue to comment on the texts of the letters of Christ, the complementary texts. I keep saying that there is no despair, there is no date. I'm commenting quickly because I want to address other topics, so I'm doing it a little faster. But as I have already said, my brothers, it may take you years to read these letters until you are able to understand them in the depths of your soul, with all your understanding. So, I'm running, you don't have to run, you don't have to read quickly and not understand, read to get an idea. Now understanding comes at each person's pace, at each person's time. Today I need to make 3 warnings. The first, when I started that candle last week, which you will light weekly, I believe that everyone there understood that it had to be repeated every week. Many have forgotten, they are now almost tearing their hair out over how to get back on track. It's simple, my brothers, let this be very clear here, the ritual is to be done weekly, for 7 weeks. If you forget, if you can't light it, if you don't have a candle, whatever the reason, failed, I'm sorry, you have to start over. There is no other alternative, there is no way, there is no time shift. No, there isn't. My brothers, everything I do has a purpose and commitment is one of them. Of course, there are often small obstacles that you cannot overcome. But why did that obstacle happen? Don't blame yourself, don't martyr yourself, the solution is simple, start again. Ah, but I'm already in the 6th week and I forgot. I'm sorry, you're going to have to start the whole process over again. So my brothers, there is not much to comment, the process starts on the day you want and from that day onwards, 7 weeks in a row without interruption. Interrupted, starts again, it's very simple. So there's not much to say. Second warning, the day for our questions and answers will now be on Tuesdays, no longer Wednesdays. The plumber has her mission. Correct, but I also have to understand and improve her time more and more. As you noticed, yesterday's video was very long, and it ended up being ready to be released to you very late. Because she had an appointment in the afternoon, she was teaching a course. So it's not because she went for a walk, nor was she sleeping, she taught classes all afternoon. Don't try to judge her and complain because she doesn't put it in early. I invite you, come here and see what her life is like. So don't judge her, don't complain, because of the time she uploads the video comes out whenever it can, it's not just me saying it here and she puts it on YouTube. There is a long process behind this. So don't criticize her. If she left at that time it was because she did everything possible to get her to leave at that time, because it would almost only come out today. So my brothers, now the day will be on Tuesdays, so that this problem will no longer exist. Videos are usually large and take time to process and go to YouTube. So warning given. Third warning, many of you have heard about the Reiki groups that she created together with Archangel Raphael. And many have been wondering why I haven't spoken out about it yet. Do I agree? Is she doing something wrong? First of all, for those who have already read the document, you will have seen that there is a prayer of mine, the prayer of protection before starting the process. So how would my prayer be there if I didn't have my consent? Really, my brothers, it was she who had the idea, not us. We just embraced the idea because the idea is great, and we're doing our best to help spread the idea. Because it's a good idea for the whole. So the process is totally blessed and you have no idea who is behind this process. It is not me, nor Archangel Raphael, at this moment you will not know yet, but very soon you will know who is behind it, who took responsibility for the progress of this process. My brothers, nothing that is done here is done thoughtlessly or in a way that attacks or harms others. There is no such concept or idea, everything she thinks is in terms of others, it's a function of the other. If many are feeling attacked or harmed, I would suggest to these people that they also do something for the whole, Don't criticize those who try to do it, because it's not doing anything great. You are not using anyone's word in vain. There is my blessing, the blessing of Archangel Raphael in this process, and of another being of light. So whoever thinks she's doing this to show off, to become famous, when she says she wants to spread this around the world, it's not in her heart. I see her heart, and rest assured, if I saw the action of the ego, in wanting to become famous, I would not be in this process. Here there is no ego, here there is pure love for the other, love for the neighbor. So let's stop judging, let's stop criticizing. Do something. Are you angry because you didn't think of this before? She took the lead, so do something. Why don't you join her in spreading this across the planet? It would be worthy, it would be wonderful, if all the groups on the internet today came together in one thought, in one action to spread this across the planet, because that's a good thing. It doesn't matter that it came from her mind, whether it was from anyone's mind, you could all come together and support the idea, spread the idea. But no, it's difficult to admit that someone else thought something in front of you, and then you criticize, then you judge, then you say bad things. It's my brothers, this is very sad coming from people who would expect another attitude. Stop and think, this is for the whole. Leave egos aside, this is for the whole. So unite. Make this an important thing on the planet, because as long as you think separately, everyone will reap what they are sowing, I can guarantee that. I'm not threatening, because this is not a threat, this is a fact, you reap what you sow, so the message is given. Warnings were given. Today I will continue talking about the compliments to the letters of Sananda. In letter number 9, Sananda comments on the God you were made to believe in, that punitive God, that vengeful God, who demanded sacrifices to please his ego. Yes, because a punitive being, a vengeful being, is doing everything for what? Because of his ego, because those people did not follow the path he determined, so this is the ego, he was contradicted, his ego spoke louder. So is this the same God you think is our Father or Mother God? Yes, many still believe, many still think they have to fear this God, because if they don't walk the line they will be punished, they will go to hell, as they say. He is my brothers, I will tell you that the letters of Christ is a milestone in your beliefs, it is a great milestone. And I will mention the wall again, whoever reads, whoever starts reading the letters of Christ does not have a wall, does not have that half belief, I will believe in some things, but not in others. That does not exist. Either you open your hearts and your minds and accept everything that is written there, or you accept nothing, there is no middle ground. So many are having difficulty accepting everything that is written there, because it demystifies a lot of things that were said in their religious books. And then once again, even reading the cards, you will interpret the cards in your own way, so that they can achieve that belief that you learned. Don't try to do this, because your mind will become more confused than it already is after reading. Either you surrender, say the prayer as Sananda instructs, and ask him to clear your mind, or you close the book and let it go. There is no wall in this case, either you are aware that what you are reading is real, or stop reading. There is no middle ground. So begin to see that this God that Sananda talks about is a being who is pure love, he is a being who has unconditional love, regardless of the path of each soul. And then many judge, how can God love a criminal, a murderer? What did I just say? He has unconditional love, and he knows that the soul of that criminal, that murderer, is the soul that needs his love the most, so that he can find the path to light again. He will not abandon her on the path she chose, on the contrary, he will do everything to make that soul return to the light, or he would not have unconditional love. This does not mean that that soul will not reap what it sowed, one thing has nothing to do with the other. Each soul reaps exactly what it sows. I'll give you an example, a murderer, he killed. It's a soul that needs help, well done. What help will she get? She will be guided to ask for forgiveness, for those who are suffering from that murder, and for those who were murdered. But forgiveness from the bottom of my heart, this is the first step that soul will have to take. So, this is divine love interceding in the path of that soul. Very good. She asked for forgiveness, she regretted it. She understood that that was the wrong path and that she will try at all costs not to go back to that path. Very good. But she committed a deed, that action will not simply be erased because she asked for forgiveness, she will reap the consequences of the action she did. She has no way. Only she understood that that was a wrong path and she will try to correct herself, but she will reap what she sowed. If that were the case, my brothers, it would be very easy for you to make millions of mistakes, and ask for forgiveness and everything would disappear. Look how good that would be, right? So that's not how it works. Only the soul chose a new path and that it will seek to follow, so that it continues to evolve, but it will reap the harvest of what it sowed. No one is saying that that soul won't pay for anything. Within her human justice, she will remain imprisoned for a long time. Within the divine law, she will also be shown what she did, the consequence it will bring to that soul. The ways in which that soul will learn the lesson, there are many, will depend on the journey, but be sure she will have the harvest. Because she threw that suffering into the universe, and she will certainly have much greater suffering to go through. Because everything depends on action. Sometimes the reaction is much more intense, depending on the type of action. So, many times that soul does not go through suffering in this incarnation, but it will in other incarnations, because the soul continues. And then many of you think that heaven didn't do anything, that God didn't do anything. You forget that the soul continues, that it does not need to pay for the mistake it made, in this life, it can pay in others. And then you think that there was no divine justice, because you understand that a murderer has to die, this is divine justice, if he took someone's life, then he must die. Don't you think it's a punishment, as you understand it, very easy, very simple, take that soul out of this dimension? My brothers, lessons are learned here. So what good will killing that human being do? He will not have the opportunity to learn his lesson from him, to get back what he caused. So, this is not the way to solve the problem. So don't want to be judges or judges. The universe's own action and reaction will bring to it the cause of the feeling of what it caused. So my brothers, do not judge each other, you have a very long way to go, and I have already said here, that very few souls on this planet have ever killed anyone, I already said this here. So don't point fingers, don't judge others, you don't know what you did in past lives. Don't judge God because He doesn't punish the way you want, the people you think deserve punishment. You think that God has to act the way you want, that you believe is right. So as long as you believe that punishment exists, everything is wrong. There is a harvest of what was planted, but it is not God, our Father or Mother God, who orders this, it is the person who created it for her. So my brothers, change your perspective, your concept about our Father or Mother God, He is pure love, regardless of the path of each soul. Who are you to judge the other, to decide what the other has to go through because of a mistake he made? Yes, there is human justice, because you have to have some rules, because otherwise things get out of control. But start to understand, think about it, is this way of solving the problem helpful? I would tell you with all certainty that no, because many times, as I said a moment ago, someone who has made a mistake, if well guided, if well stimulated, they will be able to realize that it was a big mistake and they will be able to change their behavior. Path. Now, if that being is increasingly mistreated, increasingly isolated from society, without activity, without anything that makes him grow, without anything that makes him understand the mistake he made, he may even one day be free and will do a lot worse than he ever did. Because he hasn't learned anything, he continues to think that this is the only path he has, that it is the only way for him to survive in this world, because he was not given the chance to change. So don't judge your brothers. Each one made a choice and be sure that they will reap the benefits of the choice they made. Nothing goes unnoticed by the universe. If your every word, your every thought goes to the universe. How do things go unnoticed? They come and go, this is right, and our Father or Mother God doesn't even care about it, because this was the law He created, the law of action and reaction. So He doesn't worry about punishments. No, there are no punishments, there is a harvest, and I will need to repeat this here many times for you to understand. Because many of you still don't understand this, you can't admit that you are to blame for your own misfortunes. Ah, this is a joke. Does this mean that I am guilty of the life I lead, the horrible life I have? Unfortunately, you are. You threw all of this out to the universe. Then you can look back on your life. No, but at no point did I do that. What about your past lives, and the lessons you haven't yet learned? That's what you don't understand. You may be going through lessons generated in other lives, not this one. And then comes that question, why am I going through this? And I already said this is not the question is, what lesson do I have to learn, because I'm going through this? And the day you understand what the lesson was and learn it, it will go away. New lessons will appear. It's like a big list of things that you have to go through and learn, each one you learn the lesson goes away. Now if you make the same mistake, the lesson comes back stronger, more and more difficult for you to go through, for you to really learn. It's my brothers, it's not easy, and for you to accept and understand all of this, I understand that it is a little difficult. It's as if you are sabotaging yourself, attracting bad things to you, but unfortunately that's what you do every day, through the words you speak, through the things you emanate, through the fear you emanate. You always attract more of the same. Until you learn this, the path will be very difficult, walking will be very difficult. Change your vibrations, change your beliefs, and you will see how life will become much easier, much simpler, with obstacles that are easy to overcome. You just need to change your vibrations. Today I'm going to stay here. I will not talk more about any other text. Today this video was quite difficult for me. Then many may ask, why is it difficult? Because of course, I don't emanate feelings like you, but I get extremely upset, and I might even say sad, with many of the actions you take. You, human race, still manage to surprise me with your attitudes, wrong attitudes, of course. So, I really hope that what I said here today is very well internalized by all of you. Because this is one of the most important things that Sananda taught them, the certainty of the harvest has to be embedded in their cells. There's no point in sitting and crying over mistakes you made, of course, the harvest will come. But if you understand that you made a mistake, and that you really want to change your path, you want to change yourselves, very well, change that path, show the universe that you learned your lesson. The harvest will come, but you will be strong to go through it, because you will understand that you are going through that, something that you caused. Not because it is a divine punishment, but a consequence of your own actions. Just think hard. Check yourselves every minute, what you think about others and especially about yourself. Because every decree you make, with the words you say, goes to the universe and returns in the same way. I'm here trying to open your eyes to the small mistakes you make, which are words, judgments. I will repeat that time is passing quickly, the moment of ascension approaches every day, and it could be tomorrow. Will you be ready by tomorrow to have the energy needed for the event? Is there, at least in your heart, that true desire to change? Do you understand that our Father or Mother God is a God of pure love, and that His unconditional love has to be experienced by you too? Do you understand that you are a soul, and that you bring with you all the consequences of the path that your soul has already taken? If you answer yes to all these questions, I will tell you that you are ready, and that if the event happened tomorrow, you would ascend. Now, if there is any doubt or no to any of these questions, you better hurry up. Don't delay the change, because it may come too late. Hurry up, as you may be caught by surprise. I am Archangel Michael. They may not believe it's me, they may think this is all nonsense. Find what you want. I know who I am and I know what I am. The road is there, for everyone to follow, but whoever wants to follow it.